I am the Headless Headhunter. I'm a corporate recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. The resume we have up is, and I'm going to use this in quotations, a Python engineer. I think this is a software engineer Python backend. That is what they kind of told me. So what we're going to be looking for in a backend Python engineer is Python, obviously, SQL, any of them, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Cloud, and its keywords. So this is going to be different between like AWS or EC2 or all that stuff. So RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and a bonus is for the full stack. So I didn't mean to yeeter this, and it was, spoiler, a yeet, although it was pretty close. I'm also not sure if this person's ratio is accurate or not, because they're kind of switching industries a little bit. They're switching back to software from, I think it was like data engineering or something. So the problem with this resume, first off, formatting is perfect. I have no issues with any of the formatting. It's amazing, obviously, but I could not find everything I needed. So I saw Python pretty early. Actually, no, wait, did I even find Python? That's not right. Yeah, here, Python. So I found Python here, even though it should be up here. I found SQL. I found AWS and some of its things, so Glue, Redshift, and S3. The problem is I did not find much of anything else. I did not find any Docker. I did not find any Kubernetes. I did not see Django. I did not see RESTful APIs. I did not see Agile. I did not see Git, and I did not see CI/CD. So if I had to give this a grade, it would be like a D+, and that it was close to succeeding, but it didn't. And I need more of these. So the fact that you were a contract through Amazon is huge. That's going to lead you to a lot of success. So good for you. If you're applying for software roles, I don't think you need the Power BI data analyst cert. They're not looking for that. In addition, you don't need ETL. Every single person puts ETL on, and the only people that I know need it are data engineers. And is there anything else that I know of? Data engineers and maybe ServiceNow developers, but that was a side thing. So yeah, you don't need ETL. I don't... Stop putting ETL on here. In addition, I need your Python up here to be in the first bullet. I don't want to see collaborated with the data engineering team to improve data pipelines by quantifying whatever. I want to see worked with our data engineering team to create Python scripts, SQL queries, and VBIs to assist in our AWS or whatever in one of its keywords. So my problem here is, again, I don't have enough stuff. I don't have any of the side things. Your formatting, again, is perfectly fine. And the reason this formatting is great is it allows you to, the recruiter, to read more stuff. I was actually able to get partly down to here, which you may not have been able to on any other resume. So I don't know what else to say. It's just it's missing this stuff. Like, I can't move you forward if you don't have 75% of this stuff, and I did not see 75%. So I'm missing the Docker, the Kubernetes, the Django. I have the Cloud, I have the Python, I have the SQL, but I'm also missing RESTful APIs. I'm missing Agile, I'm missing Git, and I'm missing CI/CD. I think if you had maybe either Docker, Kubernetes, or Django and RESTful APIs, you would probably be it would be a move forward. So you just need a little bit more. And I know it's possible you don't have that because you're kind of switching, but that is the stuff that they're looking for. Let's see. And you said, by facing a situation we've been on the market for 1 year and companies don't want to hire you. I don't think so. I think it's just that you don't have what we need in the resume, because I can't just move you forward with just Python. I need the other stuff. This is why you don't want to create a generalized resume, is the stuff I'm looking for in Python is not the stuff I'm looking for in full stack. So yes, they both involve Python at some level, and yes, a full stack is a bonus to Python, but if I'm looking for full stack, I don't really care about Kubernetes, I don't care about Docker or Django, or as many of the side things of cloud. You did have the main one, which is good, but yeah, I'm missing this stuff, and this stuff. So you just need a little bit more. And your sentences are also kind of weird, that, like, I need you to start with Python. If you are truly looking for a back-end software engineer with AWS and Python, you need to start with that. You don't want to put it towards the very end. I want to say, like, improved, you could just say improved our data pipelines by using Python scripts, SQL queries and refinement using AWS or whatever. So I need it to be upfront, and then I just need more. That's kind of the thing. In addition, if you are applying for a Python, you need more here, and you need more here. So you also, okay, here's another thing. Don't put internship all the way over here. Just say software engineer intern and keep it here, because they may gloss over this part. So keep the internship here because you want to make sure they know that's an internship. Same thing with this. So it should just be software engineer intern at bloody blah bloody blah. It's software engineer intern at bloody blah bloody blah bloody blah. So that's all I can do for this one. If anybody else needs more help, you feel free to submit your resume below. You can ask me questions on Twitch at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a financial analyst in, I think, Australia, but I did, in fact, look up the keywords for both Australia and the US, and they seem to be the same. So what we're going to be looking for is a degree, Microsoft Excel Advanced. So we're talking like pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, and all the other advanced stuff that I don't know off the top of my head. PowerPoint, Gap. This one may not be needed in Australia, so this is specifically maybe for the US, but this is generalized accounting, generally accepted accounting principles. Again, this is more for the US than it is Australia. Same with P&L. So this whole thing, this section might be able to be ignored. This gap to cash flow. But what is in all the job descriptions is ERP, SAP, Power BI, Tableau. You absolutely need that. Cross-functional, multitask, and deadlines also need that. And then a bonus is a CFA, CMA, CPA, and senior management. So these are the things we're going to be looking for, with the exception of the Gap, PLC, and that stuff, because I think that's a US specific, while in Australia, everything else is still the same. So we do not know this person's ratio. Let's see if they're actually good or not. Okay, I don't care about this. Nope, this can be deleted. Your education section is too long, so this should be in one line. This should be in one line. Do you need both of these? Maybe. You also don't need to tell me when you started. Technical skills, completely useless on a resume. You can delete these. Experience, fast food team member. Okay. Online fulfillment. Okay, that doesn't matter. But one of those could be used for multitasking. But there's so many percentages that I don't really, this means nothing. And then university projects. Okay, so this is, oh boy. Developed a portfolio optimization using Excel VBA, good. To analyze investment portfolios, utilize Solver to asset, don't care. Yeah, so there's nothing I need here. This is what I'd be looking for, but you cannot have it in a skills section. This needs to be in bullet points. I need you to write it like this, okay? This can still be projects, so just write your projects like this. They also don't have to be one line either, but this might be a very short review because there's just nothing here I see, right? Like, again, it does not count if it's here. I cannot move you forward if it's in the technical skills section. The technical skills section should be deleted. In addition, your certificate should be moved up to here. So that is all I can really do for that. And you don't want to write your bullet points like this. This is accurately conveyed 100 plus orders per shift with effective communication. That's not how you would write that. You would write it like this, which is handled large lunch rushes by providing customer service and multitasking while making customers their food, which resulted in multiple 5 stars reviewed on the Google page. Or if you don't have that, that's okay. You can instead say which resulted in 0 complaints and positive feedback. This is how I want you to write it. You cannot just put adapted to handle 30% more orders during peak hours without compromising service. That is incredibly corporate and it means nothing. All right, I need you to write them like this, okay? This is the stuff. It's on my website where you on the guide section. This is where it is. You need to redo all of this. I don't think there's a single thing in this resume that can be saved successfully. I just hit the desk by mistake. So you need to redo all of it. This is a burn it and start again. Yeah, I need you to tell me how you use those projects. So what your projects are, you need to show me how you use them. And these are the things I care about, with the exception of this part, because again, this is specific. That one was for the US, but I don't see ERP, I don't see SAP, I don't see Power BI, I don't see Tableau, I don't see Excel, except down here, and no one's going to go that far down. So this is a redo completely on the resume. And I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to be honest with you. Like, if this crossed a recruiter's desk, there's nothing they could use to move you forward unless the market is incredibly hot that the only thing that they care about is your degree. Which, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know the Australian market. I am a US-based recruiter. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a cybersecurity analyst. And with the full disclosure that I've never worked in cybersecurity before, I've not recruited that part in tech. The keywords we're going to be looking for are these and probably a lot more. This is not an exhaustive list. There's so much here because cyber is going to depend on government regulations and industry, which is probably what I should have broken this down into. So we're going to be looking for degree, cybersecurity, just the word, DLP implementation, no idea what that is, security, just in general, the word security, and the industry specific. So if it's cloud, you're going to want a little cloud. If it's ITAR, you're going to want ITAR. If it's, I don't really know the other ones. Again, not a never done cyber. Then we're also going to want, I don't know how to say all of these. NIST 800-171 ITAR, which I have actually worked with. So I have worked with ITAR before. I think it was International Traffic, Air, and Railroad something. It's required that before you even come on site to interview, you have to fill out a certain form. So that one is I do have experience with, but the rest of this I do not. DFARS, Simibidibus, IPS, VPNs, which I do know, TCP, IP, Sarbanes-Oxley, SOX, which I actually learned recently, not related to this role, and the Graham-Leckley-Billy Act, GLBA, these words are so hard to say, Python, Bash, PowerShell, and a bonus, which is 1,000 different certificates. I'm not listing them all. It would go out. So, essentially what we're looking for is you've done security for a particular industry, and you are compliant with the rules and regulations. Those are the three things we're really looking for. So, the first thing is that we do not know this person's ratio. They are transferring out of the military and changing careers. So, it's really cool that you're looking into the corporate section, and I do want to thank you for your service. You sent me a JPEG. So don't ever send a recruiter a JPEG. We will potentially not be able to read anything there. If you send a JPEG, I probably can't read it. So this should be in a PDF. Hopefully you just made sure not to share your information. And that was what it was. But always send a PDF and not a JPEG. So profile, HVAC professional transitioning to cyber. So that is not how you want to write that. You don't want to say that. In fact, this can be all deleted. This can all be deleted. If it's in a skills section, it doesn't count. And transitioning industries is something you do want to put a summary for, but how you would write it is a little different. It's not all of this. You just want to say transitioning to cybersecurity with a security clearance and from the military, right? That's what you want to say. So just that simple. You want to start with cyber and not HVAC. So that way they know. And in addition, you may not even need any of this stuff, but just in case. So put U.S. military vet transitioning to cybersecurity, or transitioning to cybersecurity from the U.S. military who holds a security clearance. All right, so that's the stuff I want you to put down, and the rest of this can be deleted. Same with this. So then I need to see this stuff here. Remember, if it's not in the bullet points, it does not count. That is why technical skills sections and summaries don't count for the skills. You need to show them under a job and how you did it and the reason and the result. So, configured and deployed a SOC environment to analyze data. Threat detection. So the threat detection could be good, and that is useful. The rest of it I don't think I need. Conducted 4+ vulnerability assessments. You just say vulnerability assessments. I don't know if 4+ is important or not. SOAR. Again, I don't know if SOAR is useful. There's nothing there. Again, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Net flow analysis. Assisted. Yeah. I don't see any of that. So when you're applying to corporate from the military, and I have no idea how they do recruitment internally in the military. That is beyond me. I would love to know. If you want to comment how they do it, I'd love to learn more about that industry, because I'm a nerd like that, and recruiting is obviously something I enjoy doing. But I need to see these things, and again, it could be different depending on the industry, but I don't, and I need to see them in the project. So you are focusing highly on SOAR, and I don't know if I saw a single position with SOAR. The ISO is good. This stuff is solid, but I need to see that somehow in a bullet point. I don't care about Ubuntu, Volt, Virtual, or Git, or anything here. I don't care about anything here. I do care about this, but again, it needs to be in the bullet points. So what I'm looking for is that you've done the security stuff for the type of industry, and you have the correct certifications for it. So again, if I am, as an example, if I am looking to go into cloud security, there are governmental things that need to be checked off, and you need to show that you need that. I need to see that you've used the cloud and you've done cloud security, which is going to different between like cybersecurity from, I don't know, like the potato factory. So I just don't see it, because remember, corporate is based on this. Even if these are not 100% right, I should still find a little bit of them, because the ones I saw the most were these. So like, where's the ITAR, the VPN? I don't see the cybersecurity. You need to spell it out, because remember that we don't know, right? The person who's recruiting for this may have the same amount of knowledge I have on cyber, which is none. And in that case, you need to spell it out for them in the bullet points. So that's all I can do for you at the moment. I do know that cyber, I believe, is a pretty hot industry, so you may still stand a good chance even with a bad resume, but this would be a no for me based on what I saw on the previous stuff on LinkedIn. And then, so let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a chief information officer. Also, that phone number is a very funny joke. If you type it into Google, it goes directly to, because they said their name was Johnny Appleseed, and that link goes to Apple customer support. So that is what that phone number is. But I wanted to let this candidate know. Okay, so they let me know a lot of stuff about this CIO. One of his said their previous resume was landing interviews quickly and then suddenly stopped. So the format I show isn't perfect for this level of career, right? Like for CIOs, high-level directors at big companies, I don't think this is the correct format for it. I have another format that I can show. I don't teach it because it's not useful to most people, but if you stop by the stream, I can show you the other format that can help. But I will say that the resume's only purpose is to get an interview. If you are getting interviews with your resume, like 1 and 2, it doesn't matter how terrible I think it is, it's working, right? A resume's only goal is to get you interviews. It does say that you were, once you've gotten the interviews, you're not moving forward. That is most likely not a resume issue. The exception to that is if you're failing a lot at the recruiter pre-screen, which is different than the hiring manager one, as that means your resume is probably overhyping your skills to what they are looking for, and that could be an issue. So I will do my best to review this, but I'm going to let you know flat out, Johnny Appleseed might not be 100% correct. Probably do want to come onto my live stream so I can help you a little bit more directly and show you the other resume. But if your other resume was getting, interviews, then use it, right? You don't need to keep remaking it if it's getting interviews. So what we're going to be looking for is degree, and I don't know if industry is the right word, but like some companies want more AI focused, somewhat like global contracts, somewhat building up with like P&L, an entire department. Others want setting up like an IT thing. So it's really going to depend on the type of CIO. And in addition, you might want to start going for director level roles as well, but that's a separate thing. So we're looking at those: ERP, cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity, digital transformation, size of the company. So this is not how big the company is, although that can be beneficial. It is how many, not profitable, sorry. It's not how profitable, it's how many people. So I'm actually on a role that is pretty similar to this one, different industry, so you would not qualify for it, unfortunately. But they're looking for people that like is the company like 600 people? Is the company 3,000 people? Is the company 2 people, right? The company size matters, because a CIO at a company of, 15 people would be different than a manager at a company of 2,000 people. So you need to be very specific about the size of those companies. And then I also need to know this previous success. So normally I don't want brags in your resume. For specifically this, they want to know that you've succeeded. I need to know how you've succeeded. I also need to know like vendor relationships, contracts, cross-functional teams, government regulation compliance. You want to be compliant, and a bonus for PMP. It'll CISP and CISBM. So you don't need to tell me fractional, right? Like, why do you need to tell me that? I don't need to know that this is a fractional role. In addition, something about your formatting is off. I think it's the spacing is off. I believe it might still be Arial 10.5, but the spacing is off. Makes it harder to read. The spacing should be 10.5. Everything here should be 10.5. This is good. You don't need this. Like, if you've already got a master's in organizational psych, which I love. I like IO Psych, but still it's pretty good. You don't need the bachelor's. This could be useful, If you're studying this, don't put it on. You need to have completed it. Also, I don't need to know when you started. I just need to know when you graduated. So just delete this, put status graduated, and delete this. That'll already save you some space. Then we go into work history. So don't tell me what fractional is. Just tell me what you did. I don't want you to start, like, you're kind of starting off on the wrong foot. You don't need to say fractional. You can say contract. You can say temporary. Just say chief information officer for X companies, right? Companies everything should be past tense, hired me to act as their only CIO when they can't afford a full-time CEO. See, that you're like already trying to explain this. Just say, just tell me what you did, right? I just need to know, worked with multiple companies, X, Y, and Z, as an interim CIO. Right? Like, that's it. That's all I need to say. I don't need you to say, like, to act as a temporary part-time, but they can't afford it. You just need to tell me very briefly what you did. So, contacted by CEO to aid CISO decision side of Workplace was best for their 10,000 employees. So this is okay, but this also reads more like a consultant than a CIO. Worked with CISO into compliance for cybersecurity, IT within banking, manufacturing, medical. So I like this. This is actually a very good sentence. Managed outsourced teams. Okay, but how many? Right? I know there's 10,000 employees. Were there 3 of them? I don't know how this helped them. You're not telling me your success, right? There's so much here that I don't need. So again, I like this bullet point. I think this is a good bullet point. But I need more information here about how you did it. This needs to be redone. And I would say instead, contacted by company's CEO to act as interim or whatever CIO to assist with their whatevers. So I need more here. I need to know how you succeeded, right? How did you succeed? This is the problem. My format works for most stuff, but directors and high CIOs and stuff, this format may not work perfect, and I'm fully aware of that. So, Stealth PE owned company, chief information officer. Okay, you also, here's a problem with this. You need months. Anytime there's dates without a month, with the exception of education, you are going to be looking at probably a rejection. So you need to add the months to this. And are these all under the same job? I'm a little confused. So I assume both of these were for this, in which case, God, yeah, because the timeline doesn't make sense here. I'm so confused. And then again, 2017 to 2017. And then 2015, this one's fine. I mean, you don't really need, you may need to put months here too. This is really confusing. I need you to just stop by the channel so I can help you out, but your timeline isn't making sense. There's no dates on it. And some of these sound different. Like, I don't know how to help you with this because I don't know what you were doing. So, Gosh, I don't like ending a review like this because I know people wait in line. But come on the channel, and I'll see what I can do to directly help you. I might give you a redo. In fact, I will probably give you a redo. So I will let you skip the line specifically if you say you are Johnny Appleseed, so I can work with you on it. Because there's a lot of stuff that needs to do that this formatting does not work for. Because remember, this formatting works for most people, but it doesn't work for all. And directors, high-level people, and people with very spotty work history or primarily contract work, this format, it does not work for. There is a separate format that you need. So stop by, I'll help you out, and let's go do the next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. I don't know why I said it like that, but it's a data scientist. I said it so weirdly. This is a newer version of the resume. The previous one I reviewed I think on the 1st of July. That's how long it takes me to sometimes get to these. They're not sure about the ratio yet. The previous one was about 1 in 50. So I did a meet of yeet of this, and which as you can see, because I have my little tagline right down there. And it was a meet. It was a tentative meet. It didn't have almost everything I needed, but I think it had close enough. So the biggest problem I think is this formatting is hard to read and there's a lot of junk stuff in it, but you did have the core of what I needed. So that's why I moved you forward. So let's just, for everybody at home, what we need in a data scientist is a degree, Python, R, SQL, industry. So again, like if you're in tech versus healthcare, those are going to be slightly different keywords. Explaining stuff to non-technical folks, that is huge, and that is what I really needed to see, and I could not find in the 20 seconds I had. Influence stakeholders, cross-functional, again, that is something I missed. Cloud, AWS, GCP, or Azure, business analysis, modeling, business analytics, HCP, AI, LLM, ML, NLP, Spark, Skibbity, Learn, Pandas, NumPy, and Git. So what I don't like is this right here makes it hard to read. So you need to make your resume look like this. All right, this is what it's going to look like. I understand this is for a barista, but even if you are a data scientist, you still need to have your resume look like that. Also, I forgot I had my bear camera on. People like seeing Bear on my stream. So he is collapsed out. Are you tired, buddy? Bear. Are you sleepy? I know. Hello. All right. Please don't lick me. Please don't lick me. Okay, good. You need it to look like this. I think this is mostly a formatting issue. Nothing here should be bolded. You do not need these underlines right down here. This section can be deleted. Nothing here should be bolded. These should be italicized on one line. This just helps it to be read in the time we have. And I think you can see it based on what it was in the meter yeet of this, which I have no idea what episode meter yeet that is, but that's all the time we have. So spearheaded 6, ended a project by managing 9. Also, why would you do both of those? So lead is okay, right? If you're going for a lead, we do want a little bit of this stuff, but don't say 6 and 9 and whatever. Just say spearheaded 6 right here and end project by managing 9 person agile data scientist and whatever. So this is a solid first sentence, but it's a little extra. Collaborated, so with cross-functional defined, 15 strategic focus, boosting performance tracking. Again, I like that it's cross-functional. I don't really need the rest of it. ML predictive models is something we could look for. But I don't care about the accuracy. And improved alerting by forecasting data. Again, I don't care. But directed redesign and migration of 10 plus manufacturing dashboards to Power BI, improving. This is good. So what I did find, like I said, is you were lead, you have agile, which is a bonus, and then we have Python and SQL, which I'm looking for. And again, you don't necessarily need Python and R, but it's nice to have, so that's okay to not have R. We have Python down here, which is good. The thing I see modeling here, of dashboards and everything else. Let's see, did I see modeling? Yeah, models. There it is. The problem I have is I don't see this section. I don't see how you explain stuff to non-technical folks. And these are too busy. I want you to stop using all of these percentages. If every single thing in here has a number, it's harder to read. Remember, we have 20 seconds to decide it. Technically 15 seconds, but I add an extra 5 because I can't verbalize it out loud. So you only have 15 seconds to actually have me find what I need. And these things are slowing it down. Like this is slowing it down. This is slowing it down. The double 6 and 6 here and 9 here are slowing me down. So I could not find what I needed. In fact, this could qualify specifically as explaining stuff to non-technical folks. I was not able to read it and get far down enough. So you need to fix your formatting to make it look like this. You need to delete this skills section, and you need to shrink these bullet points to make it easier to read, right? Not everything needs a number. And the more, like really only 2 things in a single job do. So once you do that, I think you're going to go from maybe 150 to like 125 to 120. So make it simple, make it basic, make it easy to read. The simpler your resume, the better it is. Because remember, if I'm trying to calculate how a improved accuracy by 25% in an isolated forest data sets is good, I am going to miss this part, or this part, or this part. So that's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me out. Hit the bell. And if you need more help, stop by my live stream at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. And I want to thank you all for keep sending in your resumes. I'm going to keep doing this as long as people like it, and it seems like they do. So I want to get you all ahead of your job search.